people who don't know and who may watch this at some point, this is the beginner's guide to AIMER 7 training. Well, I said that wrong. I need to start right now. I'll say it in a minute. Really? I got a new high score? Wow. Wow. I'll take it, considering I haven't played this one in a while. Ooh. Okay, so now that I can say it, so for the people who are curious, who may watch this at some point, what I'm doing is kovaaks training, but it's the AIMER 7's beginner tracking, since I'm fairly new to PC aiming. Even though it's better in a million different ways, I am new to it, so I decided to take up the training regimen that AIMER 7 provided. You can find this anywhere online, Google, it doesn't matter. I got mine off of Google. There's a PDF you can download. I should probably link it, that'd be kind of cool. Anyways, this is not all the... AIMER 7 has it set up differently. Mine is kind of my own little take on it. I've added a few things and changed it slightly to suit me a little bit better, because I know my tracking is trash. It was trash on console, it's going to be trash on here. It's going to be hard for me to talk though while I'm trying to track, so just bear with me. Oh, even better. I just broke the 50th percentile mark. I'll take it, considering I couldn't even get past the 25th whenever I started. It's proof that the training is working 100%. I mean, I've only been doing this for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least, yeah, 5 days, give or take a little bit. No, 4 days, I lied. Today makes 5. Yeah, today makes 5. Today's the 5th day that I've been doing the AIMER 7 training. And I've done the cat-IC long strafes a total of 8 times now, because I started this and only did 6 originally. So, if it's not proof that it's working, considering my score just went up substantially twice, then I don't know what is. Anybody has any ideas on how to make it even better for me, I would love to know. If anybody could join, it would be even better. I'd have someone to talk to. I'll talk to myself until somebody joins me. Oh, I know what I haven't said yet. It's my intro, or at least what I think I'm gonna make my intro. It's gonna be welcome to TT Gaming. No, that's not it. How did I say? Welcome to Terrible Titan Gaming, where everyone's a legend, and I'm a titan. Yay. There was no enthusiasm whatsoever whenever I created it, but I can feel the enthusiasm enveloping my body. Oof, terrible. Don't speak and train, it's terrible for you. My recommendation is to wholeheartedly focus on the training. Don't do anything else while you're doing it. Just focus. No music, no nothing. So I'm gonna stop speaking in between rounds unless somebody joins me, and then I may speak to them. I may not. I may just ignore you. JK, I'll speak to you. Misclick. 3012, even worse. Okay, that's okay. Calm down, one at a time. And my ice maker keeps making ice. Okay. 50%, 50%, 50%. And I can't get low enough to see what my other score really was. Oh well. If I could give any advice that would instantly make your aim better, or so people would have you say, because there's nothing that's actually going to make your aim better. Best way to good night's sleep. I mean, that's all there is to it. If you can get a good night's rest, your aim will ultimately be better, period, because you'll be more awake, more focused. But training is the ultimate way to get better. There's nothing better. There's nothing you can do better. I recommend it. There's 3 guides online that a lot of people use, and the one that I use is going to be Aimer 7. It's just from what I'm to understand from watching other YouTubers and other videos, is it's actually easier. Easier to follow, easier to understand in general. It's just, it makes more sense. Not that there's nothing, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the other ones, it's just that I guess Aimer 7s would be more user-friendly. That's a better score. So far for me, it's doing really good. I'm getting a lot better and I can feel it every day. And Aimer 7 does recommend that you always try to at least have some fun. I mean, have some fun with it. That makes perfect sense to me. If you're not having fun doing it, you're not going to get better. If you don't care about what you're doing, you're not going to get better. I'm not doing this just to beat other people. I'm doing this because I want to create content that people enjoy, and people don't enjoy somebody who's constantly at the bottom of the leaderboard. Unless he's doing something funny. I mean, let's be honest. If the guy's at the bottom, but he's being a complete and total jack. I can't say the other part because of YouTube, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then it's going to be a lot of fun. Just straight fun. Which, you know, I could probably do that and be the funny guy, but I'm not much of a funny guy. I'm more of a... Unfortunately, I'm too freaking serious for my own good. Sometimes. I've got a couple of... I've got a kind of a mean streak, I guess. At least on Search and Destroy, anyways. maybe I should explain why each drill is the best way to put it is in the list. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a tracking list to have one wall 6 targets unless you really get into it and think about it. The reason I think that it's in there is it helps with your straight line movement from target to target, which is extremely important. If you're attempting to track, you don't want to be trying to track the head and move from the head to the legs while tracking from side to side. It makes more sense to straight lines, so that's why it's in there. Let's see, Tile Frenzy, well, you'll see why that's in there when I get to it. It's really good at click timing, and it's really good for actual strafe training. Close long strafes is a really difficult challenge. Not because it's, I mean, it's not really that hard, it's just that it's kind of quick. You just have to stay on target. Fugla XY, I really enjoy this one. It incorporates some of the vertical strafing that you'll still, I mean, you don't have to deal with it as often in certain games, but in COD, maybe a little bit here and there. It's more for Apex, I would assume. Kata IC long strafes, got it. You saw that one. I'm pretty sure it's obvious why it's in there. Vertical long strafes. You need that vert turning. Don't just forget about it. Make sure you're doing the vert turning. It's very important. And then pin practice. I'm not even going to tell you what that one is. It's just, you'll see it. It's really annoying. So I'm trying to straighten my lines out a little. I mean, it's good for decision making as well, because I have to decide from which target I'm going to travel to before I travel to it. I'm predicting, really is what I'm doing, which path I need to take that's going to be the most efficient. So for me, since I'm still getting used to this, I will miss some. Like I missed 2 back. I could have moved to a different spot. As they spawn, I can hit those, but I will sometimes choose to go to the next one in my list that I've already made up my mind for. That decision has already been made. I don't have that reaction time to hit that other one. It doesn't register fast enough for me to change that plan that's already in my head. And so I assume, and don't hold me to it, that this drill can actually help with that. That I can help, it'll help me to move my plan, I guess. You should always have a plan. Do everything with either determination or purpose, whichever suits your needs, I suppose. Not that they're any different. Same with your aim. Same as I treat my training. I do everything with purpose. Every orb is an enemy. I'm focusing on every single shot. Let's see, 116.5. I'm getting closer to my previous high score, which is still right below the 50th percentile, because it's 119 and I'm 118. Beautiful. That's okay. That's what this stream is for anyways. It's not really for anyone else, even though I'm commentating as I go. It's really for me. It's really just so I can go back at some point if I feel like it, if I want to. Again, with purpose. I can go back and I can look through to see what I'm doing wrong or where I can improve more, which is going to be everywhere between my slower wrist movement and my click timing. My decision making all can be improved rapidly, I hope. And I can actually hit more targets faster. 116.3, that's 0.1 higher, so I'll take it as a victory in my book. Oh, 120. I broke the 50th percentile. That's improvement. I'll take it! You know, I've got this friend of mine. I don't even have a score in this one. Do I? Oh, I do. I lied. There I am. Oh, that's better. I've got a friend of mine who's a rapper. Pretty good, too. Should see if he'll let me use his music. Again, I assume this one here is all about my decision making and those lines. Of course, click timing is involved as well, because my timing is just so far off right now that even though I can come really close and just off the target just enough. There we go. Okay, that was terrible. Ooh, 78, that's better. And 86.5. I broke the barrier again. You know why? It's because I'm a Titan. And now I'm a terrible Titan. Hence the name of the channel. I missed 3 shots, all in it. I might not be accurate, but I am precise. There's a difference for the people who don't understand that difference. That sucks. Go to Google. You can learn something. If you already knew what it was, what that difference is, you're a legend. Wow, I really messed up at the end there. That's okay, one more time. I think my biggest problem right now is I'm trying to switch in between arm movement and wrist movement. Still having trouble learning how to do that. Because before my sense was too high and I was using way too much wrist, not enough arm, which is, in my opinion, a bad habit. You get a lot more control out of the wrist, and the arm is the one that you're going to use for more of your larger movements, and I wasn't doing that, so now I have a hard time switching. Let's see. Wow, okay. I broke it a long time ago. Cool. Wow. I don't know how I broke it with movement like this. They're moving. Okay. If anybody ever sees this and they make fun of me for missing all these shots, I dare you to try it. Okay? Because it's a lot harder than it looks. It's stupid. But that little bit of movement messes you up. But surprisingly enough, even though it's slow, it messes me all up. I can deal with fast movements, but these slow movements, you know, if I'm trying to go fast and flick to a target, they throw me off completely. Like that. I should never miss that. Look at that. I missed 2 in a row. Both of them were too far off the target because just slightly moving. If I can catch it before it moves, however, if I'm fast enough. And then whenever I have to make a large movement, just catch the one that has moved some. I guess it would be a little bit easier. If I can make just minor movements on the ones that aren't actually strafing yet. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Welcome to my life. Coming up short every time. That is not an innuendo. I meant this. I messed up at the end. Probably got a 50. But I don't care to find out. Just need to hit. I should be resting in between some of these at least, but I'm not because I'm actually running late today. Probably not a good thing. By the way, overtraining can be extremely bad. It's just like saturating your muscle or oversaturating your muscles. It's just not good for you. It's just as detrimental as not doing it, so don't. It's like whenever you train the same muscle in your body every day. If you do curls every day, it's not going to do anything for you. In fact, it may harm you more than anything. So that's why I have 4 beginner courses from the aimer training. Well, actually 3 aimer training courses. The 4th one, the For Fun you saw start at the beginning, is actually mine. Aimer 7 says you should have fun at least once a week, trying to set new scores or just on challenges you haven't tried. So I decided to make my own. Turned out pretty nice. It's really hard. I didn't realize how hard some of those challenges were going to be before I put them in there. But I'm not a quitter. We don't back down. Not from nobody. This is what I was saying was kind of hard. Even though it's a wide target and the strafing that it does isn't really that hard to follow. It's more of just I keep running off of the mouse pad. No, I'm running out of movement. Please go the other way. No, the other way. Yes. Oh, I'm not going to have a good one this time. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, it's supposed to have a timer at the top. The reason it doesn't is because I took it off. It doesn't need a timer. Timers are bad. They stress you out. I don't think you should be worried about a timer anyways. I think if you're not consistent throughout your entire training, then you're not doing something right. If you're only good the last 10 seconds because the timer changes, which I noticed that I was doing that. That's why I said it. I was changing my actual abilities. I don't know how to say that. Right there at the last 10 seconds, because I could just barely see it and it was distracting. So I turned it off, and ever since then I have noticed that I've been more consistent. If I'm bad, then I'm bad. If I'm good, then I'm good. I kind of know how much time I have based on the number of targets that I destroy, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be intimidated by it either. Because I may be getting faster, and I might actually be off on my timing. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for me to think that I'm close. I know this is probably boring to some, but for me, I think that the training portion is some of the most interesting portions. You can learn a lot about people by the way they train and what they're doing, how they move. Not that this is going to help me with anything in game besides my base aim. Remember, just because you have great aim, you could be an aim god, it doesn't mean that you're going to be any good at the game. It just means that you're going to have great base aim. Just because you have great base aim does not mean you can drop a 30 bomb on search and destroy. I don't care who you are. It's not about your aim. Sometimes it's about your movement. Movement can be keen. Your game sense. I don't know. Some people say genetics. I don't believe that, mostly because I hope I'm not on the lower end of that spectrum. So I'm hoping that it's not me. But if it is, we're just going to ignore it because I can become good too. All people can be great with time. Given enough time, anybody can do anything good. Only a few of us can do something great. I want to become great. One day. Unfortunately, I don't have any editing software right now, so I can't just upload a video. Otherwise, I'd prefer to have written out a script and talked about this there, because I can think of random things as I'm playing, or I can just kind of come up with something off the top of my head that I've heard, but it doesn't work as well. It doesn't get the point across as well as a good script and a video you can follow along with. Maybe you can learn something by following the video that you didn't know before. But this, you can't really, I mean, you can follow along and you can kind of keep up with me. At least I'm going to be moving at the same speed that you are if you're following along on your own computer on Kovaaks, or if you're just using a mouse and keyboard on something else and you just kind of want to listen to it, which I don't really know why you would want to do that, because I wouldn't. This is not an audiobook. It's more of a visual learning experience. Unless it's just because of my voice. Maybe the ASMR you're getting from that. I don't know. It's probably because I'm beautiful. Target now. What it is. Promise the stream coming next is going to be more exciting than this is. This is just kind of, yeah. This is training. I mean, there's nothing more about it than just what it is. Wow, I did terrible that time. Couldn't even get up to my, man, I haven't broken the 50% mark on that yet. Once I break the 50% mark on all of the challenges in the beginner section, I'm probably going to move to the beginner intermediate section. This is the beginner, I guess is the best way to put it. And AMR 7's got states that 10 to 15 days at the beginner section like this one is probably enough for you to move to the next section. At least I would assume it is if you're training purposefully and you're getting well rested before each session, maybe getting a nap in between each session. If you do more than one session a day, anyways. Which, on the weekends, I might do maybe 2 sessions. I might do just 1 session. There's no real set in stone number for me, at least not on the weekend. But during the weekdays, 1 session is required. It's required, not something I want to achieve. It's something I am going to achieve. Like I said, purpose is the most important thing. Not necessarily your discipline. You can be disciplined and still train without purpose. Ah, a back itch. Sorry, that was bothering the hell out of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually not a bad idea to count them since I can't see the timer, but I'm not going to. Stream right after this will show, I guess it'll kind of show what the training can do for you, because I'm going to be playing COD, maybe playing with someone else. It might not just be just me, but I'm going to be playing COD, the Modern Warfare 2019 version, which is the Warzone game. I won't be playing Warzone, however, because there are way too many hackers in Warzone for me to even think about playing it. But the multiplayer is less so, maybe. I mean, it's still got hackers in it. If you don't think there are, then I don't know what rock you're living under. You should probably crawl out from under it. There's hackers in multiplayer, and if anybody says console can't do it, heads up, princess. They can do it. Especially now. Before you had to jailbreak it, now you don't have to. Now, if you're willing, you can set up your PC to help you hack, I guess. Help you cheat better. On console, with the new machine learning cheats that are coming out. Some of them can't even be detected. Now that's a real nuisance. Just the other day, I actually got into a lobby with a hacker on the enemy team. Of course, no one on that team left, even though it was clear as day that the guy was hacking. Between the wall hacks and the snap to my heads constantly, even I couldn't carry my team out of that. Not to say that I'm any good, but I have my moments. Hit in the exact same spot twice. 106. Okay. Now for Fugla. Good thing about Fugla is it's a little bit slower, but it still incorporates that verticality, a better word for it, that you don't get with some of the other strafes on here. And you should always try to, if you lose your target, try to let go of the shoot, whichever that happens to be for you, right or left click, or if you're using a controller, right or left trigger, I guess, depending on your hand. And you should, try not to miss a whole lot. I'm not letting go right now because I'm too focused on what I'm saying. But you should. I mean, you should let go and try to work on your accuracy as well as work on your strafing on this one. I feel like it's a good habit to have, because you're not gonna have infinite ammo on COD unless you've got God mode hacking, which is a thing, by the way, just in case no one knows that yet. Now hackers have God mode, which means, guess what? You can't kill them. They can kill you, though. My favorite are the hackers on Plunder. I mean, what's the point in hacking on Plunder? Nobody really dies. I mean, you respawn, so what's the point? Because in the end, you're not doing anything. I mean, there are plenty of hackers who can't even win. And in Plunder, it's even worse, because what are they going to do? Take your cash after you die? I mean, okay, so what? I'm not really there for the win anyways. For the people who are, I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I'm not there for the win. I'm more or less there for the kill count. Sorry to all of those that have been murdered at my hands. Some of you have actually given me some pretty good weapons, so that's the best part. Especially the Krig. I remember whenever the Krig became relevant in the mainstream. I didn't even know about it at the time. I was still using the XM4 whenever the Krig really got big. And then on the airport tower, I was camping it because, that was fun. Still is fun. Probably gonna do that later. And got rushed by somebody with the Krig with I think she had a 3x scope on it. I think she had a 3 times the axial arm scope, which is my favorite anyways, so she really messed up. And just her and her team continually dropped on me, trying to get me out of there. I mean, it wasn't even like it was, hey, what are you doing in here? I mean, it was just consistent. They knew where I was, so they dropped on me every time they got the chance. And in her defense, she was pretty good. I knew what I was doing, and I wasn't going to let that tower go. So her and her teammates just constantly got sniped with that Krig out of the air as they were trying to land on me. And the ones who would try to come up the elevator shaft always got blown up because I had landmines or I had claymores. I think I had landmines, which the landmines are good, but the claymores I think might actually be better for that. I think they deal more damage. It wouldn't be the first time somebody's gotten up there and my landmines haven't killed them all the way. I've had to rush down, they had no armor, and try to take them out before they get me. Which, if they have no armor, I should win that fight 9 times out of 10 anyways. Being that I'm the camper and I'm the one who's supposed to have armor and supposed to be safe. But things happen. You can't always win. And don't always let your scores determine how good or how bad you're actually doing. I mean, I know that I'm worried about them, but that's just because I mean, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't care. I do, but I shouldn't. Because you can get really lucky, and you can get a routine, because that's what these are, is routines. I mean, I can do this 20 times and get one of every routine, however many there are, I really don't know. Let's just say there's 20. And I can get each routine, and just one of them I'm always going to do better on than the rest. It's just an easier routine. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get better if your scores go up, but I think that they're a good indicator of whether or not you are doing well, as long as you didn't get that easy routine, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I didn't expect for some of my scores to go up anyways, because I actually didn't get very good sleep last night. So I'm not doing as good as I would like to. Not that I'm doing bad, but I'm not doing great. And 337. Okay, that's my... Gotta take a second. That's what I'm talking about. That's that easy part that I'm talking about. Yeah, I can really feel the drowsiness setting in. Oh yeah, that score tells you right there just how tired I'm actually getting. Started doing a lot better at the beginning than I have now. I gotta wake up. Maybe I should do jumping jacks in between rounds. I know my training sessions aren't too long. In fact, they're actually more than likely kind of short, considering there are some people who probably spend 3 hours a day training their aim just to get better. And I'm only training for about an hour, sometimes longer. More than often less. And break time. Because I've probably put some strain on my wrist. Oh wow, I have been training for a little while now, haven't I? It's okay, hang on. Whew. Scratchy scratch, scratchy scratch. Let's get rid of that. Let's do this. I've only got one person watching me, and it's me. It's that vertical strafe challenge. There we go. Don't ever forego the vertical strafes just because you think you're a strafe god. If you can do the horizontal, great. Vertical's something else entirely. Not that this is any harder or easier. It's about the same, really. And remember, don't ever try to predict these targets. Just move with them as much as possible. And only move in the opposite direction they do. Like what I just did. I just tried to predict by mistake. Sometimes it's just kinda in there, I guess. It's a bad habit. You don't want to do it. See, I could have done way better had I not been trying to predict by mistake. How did I do worse that time? I felt like I did better. I wasn't trying to predict that target, I was moving with that target. $88.20. Okay, I did even worse. I think it's where my arm is slowing down, where it probably needs to rest. let's rest for a minute, because now I'm just going down in score. And that could be either because the challenges are actually more difficult, or it could be because I'm getting tired, which I know that I feel drowsy, so that's probably a big part of it. But, however, I don't want to take any chances and make my training worthless. Which is always possible if you're not resting properly in between. Which I'm not right now, which I should be. I shouldn't really be worried about time. I've got all day. Well, up until 8, I suppose, because that's when this stream isn't even going to be on. Then it's going to be the next stream. This stream will be over pretty soon, and my next stream will start up and then go on all the way up to 8 o'clock. Maybe it might run a little late, but it probably won't run really late. That's better. I wonder if accuracy has an effect on this score. No, it does not. It's all based on damage, it looks like. Damage times 3, period. Okay, and I am 37 percentile. I'm really low. There's only 20k entries, and I'm at 12k. Well, 12.6. I've only got 2 challenges left. Okay. Okay. Phew. Two. I don't even know what I'm shooting at now. So what we're experiencing is a loss of focus. Now that I'm no longer paying attention as well as I should be. Look at it. I didn't even get half as many targets. Or I got as many targets, half as many targets, but I didn't even get that many targets. I can do a lot better than that, even while I'm going slow, as long as my accuracy is high. That's what's important on this challenge. This one's pretty easy. And I added this one in myself. It's not actually in the guide. I just thought it was interesting. That's not really that hard, although I should be aiming for the head. Look at that, I broke through. Only barely, but I still broke through. Oh, thank God.